class picture. I'm Venice, in my mid-30s, but this happened in my first year of high school. I was attending an old Catholic school run by nuns. I won't mention the school's name since it closed down a long time ago. Some may remember this story because it gained attention during my time, probably for those around my age. At that time, staying in the school dorm was still a trend, and I was one of the students who opted for it. On the first day of the first year, the higher year students warned us not to use the restroom on the west side of the school. It became some kind of myth that whoever entered there would be taken by a ghost in the mirror. Perhaps due to fear, no one dared to use that restroom. There were numerous accounts of misfortune happening there, including a student found dead inside, with rumors of having their throat slit while facing the mirror. Supposedly, a deranged nun was responsible, so people avoided that area. However, the nuns claimed it was the school's property and could be used. Fast forward to the school year. Class pictures were being delivered to each year level, usually starting with the fourth year, then the third, second, and lastly, to us. I wasn't anticipating the class picture because I was sick on the photo shoot day. My classmate, Pen, not her real name, wasn't informed either as she cut class to have a snack at the canteen. She didn't know that day was class picture day. The copies of the class pictures were set to be distributed to us before the afternoon dismissal. But before they handed them out, there was a commotion with police, an ambulance, and chaos. The person delivering the pictures was found dead in the restroom, and everyone avoided it. It was similar to the previous incident, with the victim having their throat slit and strange markings on their body. The victim's belongings were scattered, and the camera lens was broken. They found the body outside the restroom, on the stairs, seemingly having fought back. My classmate still received the class picture the next day, but one was missing. Since 3 of us were absent that day, it wasn't a problem for me not to receive a copy. Before the class ended, a classmate was having difficulty breathing. We panicked because she was turning black. She was rushed to the clinic, but she had no pulse. The ordeal didn't end there for our section. Another classmate also passed away that day. It was night, and she suddenly disappeared. The next day, her throat was also slit, and she was found in the hallway leading to the dorm. 2 days passed, and 6 students were already gone. I was highly bothered, wanting to transfer to another school. One night, Pen talked to me. It was weird because it was late, and she woke me up. She looked exhausted and had dark circles under her eyes. I will never forget what she said. "Psst, Venice. Amber is next, followed by Mary Beth and Julia." Then she left and went back to her bed. The next day, we found Amber hanging. Just as she had said, Mary Beth and Julia followed. I became more paranoid. I thought maybe Pen knew who the killer was, or worse, she was doing it. Because of that, I confided in my best friend, May. She couldn't contain herself and confronted Pen in front of our batchmates. Unexpectedly, perhaps due to anger, Pen pushed May and said, "You, May, are next tomorrow." That silenced us. She seemed possessed. She pointed out 2 more classmates and said they were next after May. Out of fear, we reported it to our advisor. They started counseling Pen, but they couldn't get any answers even after threatening to suspend her. I was afraid for May, but as Pen had predicted, May was taken. She was asleep that night and didn't wake up the next day. 2 more of our classmates followed a few days later. The police were still at the school due to the ongoing incidents, and parents were summoned for a meeting regarding the students' deaths. The school head prohibited everyone from divulging any information, claiming the school's credibility was at stake. However, it was inevitable that others would eventually find out. One day, a guy visited Pen, looking like an American. I didn't know him, but I saw him crying. I felt sorry for him then because Pen was accused by everyone, even after being investigated without any evidence found against her. I overheard their conversation, but they were speaking in Spanish. Pen Pen is the child of a foreigner, and since we were studying Spanish, I understood a few words. Foto de la clase, patron. I can't remember the rest, but the two words I understood were class picture and pattern. That made me anxious. I borrowed one of my classmates' belongings because I had no copy. That's when I realized that their positions in the class picture correlated with the order of the students' deaths. Because of this, I apologized to Pen Pen and asked what should be done. She said she believed that one of the class pictures was left inside the restroom because the belongings of the murdered guy were scattered there. Knowing this, I assured myself I wasn't involved since I wasn't in the picture. Pen Pen felt the same way. She proposed to go to the restroom and check if the missing class picture was there. Of course, I declined. I didn't want to get involved. But for some reason, she always had the courage. So, she proceeded. No matter how much I tried to convince her to let it go, she went ahead. She even prayed and fasted before that. As expected, the picture was there. My classmates' faces, considered the fallen ones, were blurry. We went to the back of the school and prayed again. This time I joined her. We burned the picture. The following day passed without any more incidents, but I decided to transfer to another school despite that. It was the right timing because that school closed down. I've moved on from what happened. I became an architect, and I heard that Pen Pen became a doctor. We rarely talk. As for the school, I heard it was even burned down, but who knows? Maybe a different establishment stands there now.